The luxurious wedding venue glows under dazzling lights. Guests are dressed in their finest, laughter and music filling the air. We pan to Sophia, 28, heavily pregnant, standing at the edge of the room, hesitant but resolute. Her hand gently rests on her swollen belly. Her expression reflects a mix of fear, hope, and determination. Sophia whispers to herself, "This is for our child. He deserves to see his family." She adjusts her simple but elegant dress, the silky fabric clinging to her. The sound of her heels clicking on the marble floor echoes faintly as she steps inside. The camera pans across the room. Glittering chandeliers, tables adorned with lavish floral arrangements, and a sea of elegantly dressed guests. She catches a few curious glances, but keeps moving forward, scanning the crowd for a familiar face. Across the room, Ethan, 32, her husband, stands among a group of men, laughing loudly with a drink in hand. His charm and confidence make him the center of attention, but his smile fades the moment he spots Sophia. His hand clenches around the glass. Ethan mutters to himself, fuming, "What the hell is she doing here?" The music seems to quiet as Ethan begins to make his way toward her, each step heavy with anger. The tension in the air thickens. Sophia, noticing him, straightens her posture, refusing to back down. Their collision is inevitable. Ethan hisses, low but venomous, "Why are you here, Sophia? Who told you to come?" Sophia responds calmly but firmly, holding her ground. "This is your brother's wedding, Ethan. Our child deserves to be part of his family." Ethan's face darkens, his fury barely contained. He steps closer, towering over her. Guests nearby pause their conversations, sensing the brewing storm. He says, his voice rising, a dangerous edge creeping in, "You don't make decisions without me. How dare you show up without my permission?" Sophia's hand instinctively moves to her belly, her protective instincts kicking in. Ethan's voice grows louder, drawing even more attention. Whispers ripple through the crowd like a wave. She meets his eyes, unwavering. "I'm not here to fight, Ethan. I'm here for our child, for his family." For a moment, there's a flicker of something in Ethan's eyes. Regret, guilt, but it's quickly replaced by unrestrained rage. He grabs her arm roughly, his grip leaving red marks on her skin. A collective gasp echoes through the room. Ethan yells, "I said leave." Now, suddenly, in a moment of uncontrollable anger, Ethan kicks her stomach violently. Time seems to slow as Sophia crumples to the floor, clutching her belly. Her scream pierces the air, silencing the room completely. The guests stand frozen, their faces a mix of shock and horror. Sophia cries out in pain, her voice breaking, "Why, Ethan? Why would you do this?" Before Ethan can respond, a thunderous voice cuts through the silence like a blade. "Enough!" All eyes turn to Mr. Grant, 60s, a commanding figure who strides forward with an air of authority. His face is a mask of controlled fury, his voice booming. Mr. Grant, furious and pointing at Ethan, says, "You vile excuse for a man. How dare you lay a hand on her? This wedding is over, and as of now, you're fired. Get out of my sight." Ethan stares in disbelief, his arrogance crumbling. He opens his mouth to protest, but Mr. Grant's glare stops him cold. Ethan pleads desperately, "Mr. Grant, please, you don't understand." Mr. Grant interrupts coldly and resolutely. "The only thing I understand is that you're a monster." Guards, escort him out. 2 security guards step forward, their presence commanding. They grab Ethan by the arms as he struggles, his protests falling on deaf ears. The guests part, creating a path as Ethan is dragged out, his humiliation complete. Sophia watches through tears, her body trembling from pain and shock, but a flicker of relief shines through. The camera lingers on her tear-streaked face as the scene fades to black. The world feels cold and distant as Sophia lies on the hospital bed. The steady beep of the heart monitor, the only sound breaking the silence. Her face is pale, her body weak, but her eyes carry a determination to fight. Doctors move briskly around her, their expressions grave but focused. Sophia whispers faintly, "My baby, is he okay?" Dr. Lewis, a composed woman in her 40s, places a reassuring hand on Sophia's shoulder. "Your baby is strong, Sophia. We're doing everything we can. But you need to rest." Tears stream down Sophia's face as she nods, clutching the hospital sheet. Flashbacks of Ethan's rage haunt her. The way he had looked at her with no shred of remorse, it sends shivers down her spine. She whispers to herself, "How could I let it come to this?" As days pass, Sophia begins to heal physically, but the emotional scars remain raw. She watches the world outside her hospital window, her mind replaying moments from her marriage. Ethan's charm in the beginning, the subtle shifts in his behavior, the control he exerted. The signs had been there, but she had ignored them, hoping for change. Her thoughts are interrupted when Mr. Grant visits her. He stands at the doorway, his usually commanding presence softened by genuine concern. "Sophia, may I come in?" She nods, wiping her tears. "Of course." He pulls up a chair, sitting by her bedside. "I wanted to check on you and your baby, and I wanted to apologize. I should have seen what kind of man Ethan was." Sophia shakes her head. "It's not your fault. I made excuses for him. I thought I could fix him." Mr. Grant's expression hardens. "Ethan's actions are unforgivable, but you don't have to face this alone. If there's anything you need, my family and I are here for you." His words bring a flicker of hope to Sophia's weary face. "Thank you." As weeks go by, Sophia focuses on rebuilding her strength. She attends counseling sessions arranged by Mr. Grant, confronting the pain and guilt she had buried deep within. Through these sessions, she begins to rediscover her worth and the fierce love she has for her unborn child. One evening, as she sits by the hospital window, writing in a journal gifted by her therapist, a nurse walks in with a smile. "Sophia, you have a visitor." Sophia looks up, startled. "Who is it?" The nurse steps aside, revealing Ethan, disheveled and desperate. His eyes are red, his demeanor a shadow of the confident man he once was. Sophia's heart races, a mix of fear and anger surging through her. She clenches her journal tightly as Ethan steps closer. He begins to speak, his voice cracking. "Sophia, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please, give me another chance." Sophia's eyes narrow, her voice steady but cold. "You almost killed our child, Ethan. There are no second chances for what you did." Ethan falls to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "I'll do anything to make it right. I'll change, I swear." Sophia stands, her posture strong despite her lingering weakness. "You've lost the right to be a part of our lives. Leave, Ethan, and don't come back." The strength in her voice leaves no room for argument. Ethan stumbles to his feet, defeated, and leaves the room without another word. Sophia watches him go, a weight lifting off her chest. For the first time in years, she feels a sense of control over her life. She places a hand on her belly, whispering softly, "It's just you and me now, and we're going to be okay." Months later, Sophia stands in a sunlit park, holding her newborn son in her arms. The world around her is alive with the sound of children's laughter and the scent of blooming flowers. She smiles, watching her son's tiny fingers curl around hers. For the first time, she feels free, unburdened by the shadows of her past. Mr. Grant joins her, holding a small stuffed bear as a gift for the baby. "He's beautiful, Sophia, just like his mother." She looks at him, gratitude in her eyes. "Thank you for everything." He nods, his voice warm. "You've come so far, and I have no doubt you'll give this little one a life full of love and strength." Sophia gazes at her son, her heart swelling with a mix of joy and determination. We're starting fresh. No more fear, no more pain. Just hope. The camera pans up, capturing the serene sky as Sophia walks forward. Her son cradled close. The world is hers to reclaim, and her journey has